Dyche'S verdict on Villa reverse. Sean, a difficult afternoon, how do you sum it up? SD, miles off it. They were better in all departments. Overall, the sharpness, the edge, that is important in a performance, particularly scoring goals. They drove in the box, they were more alive than we were defensively. Look, we were miles off it today, and it's a strange one because we were really on it last weekend. That's what it's got to be. We've got to find consistency. I used that word, consistency, constantly last season, within a performance and week to week, and that was badly lacking today. Can you put your finger on why today's performance contrasted so much compared to last weekend? SD, they've got the opposite contrast. Sometimes that's life as a manager. You look at it, you train well, you organize, you get all of the details into the players, and you can have a collective down day, which was today. Mistakes don't help, either, of course, but it's for everyone to correct. You can't wait for someone else to correct it. I've just spoken to the players about that. Everyone has to make a difference. The learning I've had from the past couple of seasons, it's been a bit like that, good one week, miles off the next, and we've got to find that consistency. We find that through the training ground, but we've got to put it in performances. No excuses today. They were miles better than us. James Tarkowski has just mentioned about the players' mentality being at fault today. Do you agree with that, and how frustrating is that? SD, we're trying to build on that after the work we did last season, in big games and difficult games towards the end of the season. The mentality is there, but we've got to push it further. We've got to strengthen our resolve on a weekly basis. It's not just that, it's the detail of today. They were better with the ball and looked for the ball and operated as a team, whereas we were playing standstill football. You can't do that in the Premier League, whether it's defensively and getting your organisation right, anticipating the game, or whether it's in attack. We've got to keep working. Thankfully it's early season and we can work it out, but we have to react to today very quickly. It looked like Dominic Calvert-Lewin was trying to fight through the pain after that early collision. What can you tell us about how he is? SD, he's got a knock on his cheekbone, but there was no concussion. He had a bit of blurred vision on one side, so in the end we had to make a call on it. Obviously, he's only just getting back and it was a tough one to take, and then we had Alex Iwobi go off as well. It was a tough one today, but there were a couple of positives. I thought Lewis Dobbin did fantastically well after coming after a good pre-season, and I thought Arnaf Danjuma did well, coming into a game which is difficult, but you can see him getting fitter and sharper. You could see those two did everything they could to try to affect the game in a positive manner. They've both certainly put themselves in the thinking, that's for sure. The transfer window is still open. You said we are still actively looking for new recruits. Big amounts of money usually changes things. We haven't got that, so we're working very hard to construct situations that can affect us in a positive way. Before we look outside, we need to make sure this group does better than that today. Freshness can change things and puts more pressure on the players internally, but we've got to remember there is a group of decent players here. I reminded them of that at the end of last season after we got through a massive challenge. We had a decent pre-season and a good performance last week. It's not all about one game today, but we need to make sure we don't revert back into some of the performances of the past, which I thought we did a little bit today. We want to keep building for the future with this group, and if we can add to that, then we will do so. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and don't miss the next videos.